Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Ligh-Bulb podcast. Today, I have another very inspiring guest, my new good friend, Sheri Mills. We met about last week at my good friend Jay's masterclass, and her story really stood out because she's unlike any other coach. She actually transforms and changed lives through, well, first of all, she has a phenomenal story herself. She lost 38 pounds without trying, with just boiling and roasting food instead of cooking them. And she went from being having to take 12 pills to none. One of the most incredible stories of her clients that she shared is that the client went from lost 115 pounds in 11 months to a better mindset, to nutrition. Just teaching, she taught her and teaching her clients how to eat properly, cook properly, and how to shop properly. And her mission statement really, you know, beautifully encompasses that, which is her vision of health is her mission to bring to reality. So yeah, so I'm excited to learn more about her and about what she does. So Sheri, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Payman.
Pleasure's all mine. So for people who don't know you, tell us. We're gonna talk about your business and all the good stuff after, but as a person, as a woman, as a human being, who's Sheri?
Sheri is a very happy person these days. Um, my past professional life, I was 30 plus years in telecom sales and made a pivot about 6 years ago to the medical marijuana and CBD world and wanted to stay in a health and wellness type mindset. I worked with a lot of hospitals and physicians before. Um, but my crazy professional life in sales where you're chasing that ever looming quota and everything. My hours were insane. I was working 14, 16 hours days, had no time for myself. And my body started falling apart because you don't eat right. You don't take care of yourself. It's all about the profession and just trying to stay up, right? I had all sorts of disease states, fibromyalgia, arthritis. I have a terrible back, only 3 decent vertebrae. Visual migraines that really affected my work at the end there, because I made them take out fluorescent bulbs. I had to have a desk right at the window, all sorts of things because nobody could tell me what was wrong with my vision. My ophthalmologist, I went to a specialist. I had brain scans and MRIs and all sorts of things, and they couldn't find the reason. Restless legs so bad that I had to buy new sheets every 3 months. I was going bald. Thank God it was a pandemic time. My skin was so thin and tenuous that if I bumped against my water bottle, my skin flapped open. I was in wound care. The list just goes on. IBS all my life, no energy, couldn't sleep. So right when the pandemic started opening up a little bit, I actually went by one of my local pharmacists, stopped by to say hi. He was going to be carrying my products if I move forward with the CBD. And he introduced me to the biophotonic scanner, which is behind me here. And that reads the carotenoids in your skin to give you really, I call it a wellness check, a lie detector test to find out what you're doing. And I failed, just like most of Americans do. I had very low antioxidants in my body. And so I did some research, and it's backed by world-renowned nutraceuticals, lots of science. So I did my own test. I don't tell my patients to do this, right? My clients, everybody's different and we work together differently, but I took myself off all my medications. Wow. And changed my diet, added more fruits and vegetables, steamed them, roast them, blended them up to make smoothies, as I'm having one right now. And then added some great nutraceuticals into my life. And it's been over 2 years and I have not come back to prescription medicines.
Beautiful. Awesome. We're going to dive into that later.
Yeah, it's changed my life where no modality was helping me. Not one. And not one talked to me about health and wellness and nutrition. So that inspired me. If I could do that at 60, I can help others. So I went back to functional medicine school so I could help others.
Wow. That's beautiful. Just give me a second here. Wow, that is incredible, and I can't wait to dig deeper into that. But before we do that, what I like to do first of all is to ask a series of rapid fire questions to my guests to further get to know them as a human being. Ready?
Ready.
All right, Sheri, tell us what makes you happy.
What makes me happy is sunshine, flowers, gardening, spending time with friends and family,
Beautiful.
and just feeling the peace and ease of life.
Love that. What makes you smile?
Laughter. I love laughter.
Oh
I
yeah,
love laughter. I love anything that's good and warming to my heart. So things that make me smile are the beauty of the earth,
oh yes,
the warmth of a friend, you know, kindness,
oh yes,
compassion.
yes. I'm with you. Now let's take the happiness factor a couple of notches higher. What makes your heart sing? What makes your soul set on fire?
My newly found energy makes my heart on fire, right? I
Yes.
love surrounding myself with people that have good energy because that brings joy to everybody's life.
Mhm.
Getting rid of all the distractions and the people that don't serve us and the things that don't serve us anymore. And I've been going through a cleaning out, as you could say, for the last couple of years, and it's
Beautiful.
been eye opening and it's been wonderful.
Absolutely. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, tell us what makes you sad and angry?
Rude people,
Mhm.
um, the way we take care of our planet, and just people in general that just have bad attitudes. It
I'm,
just it drains you and makes you unhappy, and it's just not good.
I'm with you. Now, what scares you?
Scares me. What scares me? Well, what's happening to our planet scares me.
Oh, yes.
The earth has got so much beauty in it that we're not taking care of. That scares me.
Yes.
Um, some of the things government wise are going around the world, that scares me.
Oh, yeah.
Um, life has its ups and downs. So you have that fear, you have the scared, you have the love, you have the joy. It's called life. It's
Totally.
how you overcome it.
I'm with you. Absolutely. Now, what would you say is your number one personal superpower?
Compassion.
Beautiful. Yes. Love that. Now, you enjoy traveling, right?
Say it again.
You enjoy traveling?
I do. I haven't gotten to do it in quite some time. I'm so looking forward to it.
All right. Now, let me take you down a different type of traveling, down memory line. Go back
Okay.
to, when we're kids, people around us, family, friends, teachers, relatives always ask us, so, Sheri, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer as a little girl to that question?
Oh my goodness. I had so many, but the main was I wanted to be a ballerina when I
Wow.
was a little girl. I danced from, I think, age 4 or 5 till I was in almost my 30s. I was in some
Beautiful.
form of dance.
Beautiful.
That always made me, and I used to sing long time ago
Wow.
when I had a good voice.
You
Um,
still do?
and I was in the church choir, I was in a band.
Wow.
So, those things always made my heart sing. Just the
Beautiful.
joy of expressing yourself.
Beautiful. Now, growing up, what was your relationship with school? Did you love school or did you hate school?
I didn't really love or hate it. I was one of those kids that just kind of paid attention in class and got along. I didn't ever have to really study a lot. Um, I never really was in a clique or any of that stuff. I just got along with everybody. I did my own thing. I had so many outside of school activities between church and dance and
Beautiful.
it was fun at times, yeah, but it was school.
Mm. What was your favorite subject?
It was math.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Could I help a child do geometry or trig or algebra now? Absolutely not. But it was my favorite subject. I excelled at it.
Beautiful. Was there a subject that you could not stand at all?
Science, which is kind of funny.
Why?
I just didn't like it. Couldn't relate to it. Didn't like it. Didn't like dissecting frogs.
I was about to say that. Blue frogs. All right.
But which is funny because now I'm into science, right? So it's funny how our past and our futures flip during the course of
Totally.
our lives.
Totally. What was your very first job? And do you remember how much you were getting paid for that first job?
Oh my God. I think I was making 335 or 435 at McDonald's.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. Now, let's take a look at your path from the moment that you left school to now. How would you describe it? Would you say it was pretty much straightforward, smooth sailing once you're into one lane? You were set for life, or was it more like turns and twists, like a roller coaster?
Oh, up and down, turns and twists, different careers, all
Yeah,
over the place. Did a lot of moving when I was young. If it didn't like where I was, I packed up, moved, and can't imagine that now. But
yeah,
back then I had no fear, right? So,
exactly.
uh, but yeah, no, it took me a while to get my headspace around a career and focus.
Mhm.
You know,
Now,
my 20s were kind of wasted, but that's okay.
you
It
know,
turned around.
nothing, once since I've had my awakening, I realized that there's nothing is wasted. You're meant to be where you are, and you learn to, even when you make so-called wrong decision and take the wrong turn, so to speak, you're still going to benefit. You're going to learn, because in life and business,
Absolutely.
it's important to know what to do, but it's twice as much important to know what not to do. Not just in business,
Exactly.
life as well. So I would not see that as a failure. I would see that more as like, hey, life is a school. It's a
Yeah.
learning process.
It was some detours. That's all.
Exactly. Either you learn or you earn. Either way, you benefit.
And hopefully we learn from our mistakes, right?
Exactly. They're not really mistakes. They're our teachers. They're our best teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Life lessons.
Speaking of that, there's a saying that says, "Change your story, change your life." And by story, I mean what we tell ourselves inside our head all day long. So when you, Sheri, when you're at some of your lowest point in your life, how do you change your story internally to change your story, to change your reality externally?
So in the past, I didn't really have the knowledge to know how to do that, right? So I was stuck in a spiraling effect several times in my life. But what I've learned over the last several years is meditation and mindset is everything. So
Mm,
if you're feeling low or if you're feeling discouraged, number one, you should have supportable people around you that can help lift you back up. But another thing is you have to take care of yourself first. So you have to learn techniques to bring yourself out of that. It's just like anything we do in our lives. If we're making any positive changes, you have to learn how to do that.
mhm.
And it's your life. You're responsible for it. So you can't rely on everybody else to pick you up and get you moving. So one thing that helped me is being quiet with myself
Mm.
and reflecting and journaling, right? Whether it's good or bad, you journal, get those thoughts and those feelings out on paper. And it's a way of releasing them and starting the next day on a bright note.
Absolutely. Wow. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So now that you know better, and that, sorry, you have more experience, more wisdom. Speaking. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Yesterday I was going on a walk. I love walking, and I was listening to a podcast. And one thing that the person said that really stopped me on my track was, stop telling your story in the past. Instead, start telling your story in the future. Imagine there's no limitation, restrictions. How would your ideal life be? Imagine that you can have anything you want. Let's say you're a billionaire. What would you do? Write it down. Your perfect
Oh,
life. When I
my
heard that, I said, "Wow, that's life changing. That's transformational."
Mhm. Well, and you have to have that. You have to have that vision, right? Whether you put it on a board or on a piece of paper in your mind, so you can move forward and you have that ultimate goal. Like, and mine is when I sit in vision or meditate, I see myself at a vineyard in Tuscany.
Wow.
But I also want to travel the world. I've met some pretty friggin' amazing people over the last couple of years across the globe, and I would like to go see each and every one of them.
Totally.
So that is my vision of my future, is to go and visit all of my friends that I've made, because I can work from anywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful indeed. Just need a connection, your laptop, this, and your phone, and you're good to go.
That's it.
Yeah, wow, beautiful. Now, let's talk about your business now. Tell us about your business, your journey, for example. How did you first of all ended up into a position that you were like having to take like, I don't know, how many was it? 12 pills a day? And
12
yeah,
medications.
yeah.
Well, it was just the abuse I was putting on my body by being all about my career. And the only time that was away from my career was going to see all sorts of different modalities and specialists and stuff, to try to cure the pain. I thought I was stuck like Chuck for almost 27 years in dire pain. And I just kept pushing through. I'm a type A personality. So I just kept pushing through. And not one of them, not one, talked to me about lifestyle changes and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So when the light bulb went off and I started doing my research and I spoke to some other naturopaths, it was very eye opening, and it wasn't hard to make that change. It really wasn't. Everybody thinks that if they're going to lose weight or they've got arthritis or fibromyalgia or something else, joint pain, whatever, they're stuck. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about your nutritional intake, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
hard to change your diet. And I don't miss anything that I did before that was like habit forming for me. Like, and it was so easy, and I saw results fairly quickly. So, like within 3 months, my skin was firmed up, my hair was growing back, my pain and inflammation had lessened. I was sleeping better. My restless legs had diminished. My vision was clearing. It was huge.
Wow.
By 6 months, I was a totally different person. And it takes at least 6 months
So
because we've not abused our bodies overnight, right? So I was in this pain for 27 years. And within 6 months, I felt like a renewed person. It was just crazy to me that you could do that. And I wish someone had taken the time to educate me that 20 something years before, right?
sure.
So my passion is to help 1,000 people get healthy in the next year, right? Life can be beautiful again without all that extra wasted energy on pain and sadness because of how you feel.
Beautiful. So what was the moment that triggered you, that woke you up, that was a catalyst for you to say enough of that? Was it a specific moment in time? Was it like an accumulation and you just said one day you just said enough? I have to change. I have
Well,
to
I'd
change.
always said enough, but I didn't know what to do about it, right? So when I went to see my friend Dr. Mack, and he introduced me to the scanner, and I
Mm.
put my hand on it, and I failed. There was something about actually putting your hand on it.
What do you mean you failed?
I failed the test.
Oh,
So your score on this is either 10,000 to 100,000, 100,000 being good. You're healthy. I was 22,000.
so
And
what?
even all my friends were saying, I'm surprised you even rated that high. Because I didn't eat that bad, but I ate late. I ate cheese and breads and, you know, um, lots of carbs and
Processed
at the
food.
wrong
Yeah,
times of day, right?
yeah,
So it's something about putting my hand on this scanner triggered something in me. So I was ready to actually listen to somebody.
yeah.
And that's when the light bulb happened.
Wow.
And I started doing the research, and within a couple weeks, I had added more fruits and vegetables, changed the way I cooked, got rid of the late night cheese and bread stuff, you know.
Yes.
Um, no more fried foods, no more fast foods. Pizza was only allowed in my life once a month, maybe. And
Soda,
I don't miss it, you
beer,
know.
things like that. Yes, yes. Smoking. Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I made changes in my habits. I made changes in my diet. I added great supplementation to it, and magic started happening. And
Hmm.
it's amazing. It's just a wonderful feeling.
I can imagine. Wow. Wow. So now you had this awakening, then you started changing your life. And then what made you decide, hey, now I need to share this with others? And how did did you start thinking and turning this into not only for you, but also into a transformational business, helping change people take control of their lives and of their health?
Well, I had pretty much given up on the CBD business at that point because it was the pandemic time and it was hard to get investors and so forth. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into something for good for others because I'm an empath and I love helping people. So I decided to go back to functional medicine school for functional nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And I take some, when I can, I take some practitioner classes too. I'll never go down that road, but it's nice to have that knowledge for my clients. And it's just eye-opening how we can actually take care of our bodies
Mm-hmm.
through a functional approach instead of the Western medicine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really sad what our healthcare system is doing to us. The healthcare
Mhm.
system is killing people. And to be able to educate others on how to overcome diabetes, obesity, you know, disease states, or if you're predisposed for it for your family, you need to jump on the bandwagon now, not wait till it happens, right? So it's all in your mindset, and it's just looking at health in a different viewpoint.
Mhm.
Um, and it's effective and it works and it's so simple.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us more about your business. So what exactly is your business? What do you do to change lives?
So my company's name is Your Wellness Redefined, and I'm a functional nutrition coach. So I work with people all over the world through Zoom or locally in my backyard. I live in Pompano Beach, Florida. So I live in South Florida. I do group coaching for a minimum of 10 people for a 12-week program. I do one-on-one coaching. I find that I really enjoy the one-on-one coaching because everybody is different. Everybody reacts to things different. Everybody has different viewpoints, and everybody's body reacts differently to different foods.
Sure.
So, and everybody has different needs. You know, everybody can say, I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to lose 25 pounds. And when you lose the 25 pounds, your joints will feel better and be happier, right? And things will make change. But through your nutrition, we all have some form of inflammation in our body. And as we get older, we find we have more. So when you can release that from your body, weight just naturally falls off. Mine did. It was like 3 months. I lost 38 pounds without even thinking about it. I wasn't even trying to lose weight.
So
I
all
hadn't been
you
able to lose weight since I was 40,
so all you
no
did
matter what I did.
so all you did just stop cooking and just grilling and boiling the food and eating more vegetables
Yeah,
and
I roasted my
fruits.
vegetables and I'd have a mix of vegetables tossed in like avocado oil or olive oil with some seasonings and a piece of fish, a piece of meat, piece of chicken, whatever. And that's what I did. And then in the morning, I make my what I call my antioxidant shake. It's full of berries and bananas and super greens and vegan protein, and it gives me energy and for the whole day. Simple things like that. They're not hard. meal planning for the week, so that if you're a busy executive or you're always on the go, you still can have healthy meals.
Beautiful. Who is your client avatar?
My avatar is men and women 45 to 70. They're looking to lose weight. They're looking to maybe get off some prescription medicines, right? By changing their lives. I hear that a lot. I don't like taking medicine. I don't want to be on statins. I don't want to be on blood pressure medicine, or I'm facing double knee replacement. Right. So one of my clients lost 115 pounds in 11 months.
So what can cause someone to have their knees replaced because they're
A lot of it is weight.
Ah,
A lot of it is weight. You're carrying too much weight and your knees eventually will give out, right? Back pain, all that kind of stuff comes from that. And a lot of it is just inflammation puffing up our bodies. So when he shed the weight, he was ready to schedule that surgery. I said, let's work on you first. Now he's out, he's jogging now.
How much was his weight at that time prior to working with you?
Oh, he was close to 300 pounds.
Holy smoke. Yeah, that's big, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
and so by shedding the weight, he started moving better. I got him to start attending yoga and stretching, and now he had to do it in a chair. He couldn't get on up and down off the floor. That's just happened in the last few months, and now he's actually started jogging.
All it did was just changes what he was eating and eating better. That's it.
Yes, it was all nutritional diet choices. His grocery bill has been cut in half. He doesn't eat as much. He's clean. It's a cleaner diet. And he's mentally just absolutely transformed. He's just another person. He's so excited, and I'm excited for him. He's going to Bali in a couple of weeks. So,
oh wow, good for him.
Yeah. So I'm kind of jealous, but I'll get there one day.
You should join him.
Yeah, I would love to, right?
Yeah.
And but no, it's amazing what changing your nutritional intake can do to your body and how the healing powers align. But most people, everybody says, I know what to do.
But they don't do it.
They don't do it. They don't do it at all. So you need someone that motivates you and enlightens you and gets you on the right path. I mean, I remember taking him to a grocery store and showing him how to shop.
Wow.
And telling him what to and not have in his kitchen, and showing him how to different ways of cooking it, and sharing some of my recipes, and just a whole mindset approach. And he used to text me every day, and he still does. He texts me like, this is what I'm having for dinner. And I'm like, okay, that's okay, but I want this change, and this change. And still to this day, I get 3 or 4 plates of food texted to me, and it's like, all right, I'm loving your journey. It's just, I'm so proud of you.
You know what you should tell him, and you should tell all of your students from now on, is to document the journey start an Instagram account and just post pictures of first, before, and then every step you're doing every day, the food you're eating compared to what you were eating before and what you're doing now, how you preparing your food, how much sleep you were getting before. Document everything. That by itself is going to be a phenomenal journey of inspiration for others, but also that will be for you.
Yeah.
It's marketing.
Absolutely. I do need to do more of that with my clients.
Yeah. Make it like a mandatory. Need 2 things from me. One, a before picture, and I want you to document the journey, start a fresh Instagram account. That's a non-negotiable. You want to join this? These are 2 things that are absolutely non-negotiable.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what is your take on, speaking of food? We hear different people say different things. Some people say eat multiple times a day, but smaller portions. And other people say eat, 1 meal a day, the OMAD, diet. Some people are saying eat, there's a saying that says, have breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper, so to speak. So what is your take on that? What is the right the most efficient way to eat on a day-to-day basis?
All right. So that's not an easy question
Yeah, sure.
because, like I said, everybody's body and everybody's different.
Depending on activity and all that.
Um,
Yes. Mhm.
So you have to have activity. You can't neglect that. That has to happen. Right? I don't care if it's a walk around the block after dinner or a brisk walk in the morning before breakfast, right? And we call it breakfast because we're breaking a fast,
Yes.
right? So some people wait. I know I'm not a get up in the morning and have breakfast right away.
Mhm.
I have my tea and my mental time with myself.
Yes.
I don't eat breakfast till about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
Right. Um, some people like to get up. They're powerhouses. They have heavy lifting, heavy, jobs. They need that big breakfast in the morning. I always found with a big breakfast in the morning, I lose steam about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Right. So everybody's different. Um, you shouldn't eat a big heavy meal at night. Absolutely not. And you definitely don't eat at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. If you need a snack, I tell people make a green smoothie with ice in it, make it like a frosty or like an ice cream.
Mhm.
And it's super greens. It's not fruity, it's not sugary, right? And I teach people sugar substitutions and gluten substitutions, and because sometimes that is what's wrecking your gut, which is wrecking your whole body.
Mhm.
Um, different foods affect us differently. Nightshades don't agree with me. Not all of them affect me though. It's a pick or choose kind of thing, right? So, but some people have really bad reactions to nightshades and
Mhm.
they don't think about it because people tend to not write things down. So let's say you go to dinner and it was absolutely delicious, but a couple hours later, you're in so much pain. You're just popping Tums or something like that, right? You're not writing it down. So listen, tonight I had this. I had eggplant parmesan and now I'm just in misery. I can't have eggplant. Love it. Can't have it. I want to go to the hospital if I eat eggplant. But
Yeah.
people don't think about that. They don't think it's related to the most recent meal or what even they had at lunch. So it's being mindful of your foods, of the time you eat your foods. Some people are better at snacking during the day, but snacks can be an apple with a scoop of peanut butter. It could be a handful of nuts, right? It could be something simple that just gets you over that little that you needed to do. Missing meals is not always smart. Sometimes life gets in the way and we have to adjust, right? But again, if you know your schedule and you plan for it, I like to take a couple hours over the weekend and plan my meals for the week. And in some cases, I prep them all so they're easy to grab and cook, or I pre cook things so they're easy to grab, either heat up or eat cold, right? Like I do a lot of salads, and they can be bean salads, they can be, orzo salads, they can be all sorts of different salads. That makes a great lunch. You grill up a bunch of chicken on Sunday and you have a salad, you slice up a chicken breast and you drop it into your salad. So you have your protein, you have your greens, you have your vegetables. So there's all different ways of making your daily routines healthy and happy and giving you energy, and with better nutrition, your clarity and your focus goes through the roof. And that's one thing Jim said. He said, I cannot believe how my mind is cleared and how my focus and my clarity is. He said it's amazing. I was in a fog. I was walking around in a fog trying to push through everything. So I know. And I think it's important to work with somebody that's been down this path,
Absolutely.
that's been in the misery, that's, had so many things wrong with them that, I just, like I said, I thought I was stuck like Chuck. This was my life. It's misery. Just put a smile on, keep pushing through. So it's nice now that my smile is real and and it's different, right? It's bigger. It's Um, feeling good, there's no better feeling. And knowing that I can go out there and enjoy life much easier than I could before. Because there was so much I couldn't do. Right. And now I don't have those problems. And it's just wonderful.
You know, that reminds me of something. Growing up, I used to be very, very, very active, very fit, playing football, soccer, and like 3 to 5 hours a day. I grew up in Europe and France, where football is a religion. So, but then when I came here, especially after university, I let myself go. At one point, I got so fat. I didn't notice it. I didn't realize it. But then looking back at the pictures of me, like say around 2004, 2005, I couldn't recognize myself. And one time we went to Niagara Falls, picnicking with family, cousin, all that. We tried to play some football and just running. Didn't run. I felt so ashamed. I pretended I'm sick. And then after that, I changed my diet a little bit. And then the next time we went, I was actually able to jog. And I felt so freaking good. It's almost I was reborn. And ever since after that, I make it my priority to get fit. I'm doing a lot better now than I used to, but still there's some, still some weight to lose. But no, the body, the fitness, that's the most important thing, because that's your palace. That's the place your body lives, even more important than your house, because this is the place that you be with from the moment you arrive on this planet till the moment that you ascend. This is your home. This is your true home. You have to take care of itself, just like you clean your house. You do all the cleaning. You have to do the same thing for you. Keep it fresh, clean. So, no, I absolutely agree with you. And your story is beyond powerful. I love your mission of helping 1,000 people get in shape. That's wonderful. Listen, I can talk to you for hours. This is beautiful. I love what you're doing. We will definitely do a part 2 in the next few weeks. But let's start to wrap this up. And to finish off, I'd like to ask you a series of rapid fire questions, but this time on advices. Ready?
Okay.
What's the best piece of advice you've received so far?
I think the best piece of advice I'd ever received is to take time for myself.
Huge.
Start my day with myself.
I was having this conversation yesterday with my sister. She said for the longest she was putting everybody before her, and then she felt drained. And then now she's trying to, just like it says, first fill your cup, just like in the plane. First your oxygen mask, because if you cannot function properly yourself, you're not going to be of any good to anyone else. So you are the most special, the most important person in your life is you. That doesn't mean you're just being selfish. It's mean you're being altruistic, because if you can't take care of yourself, you cannot be the best version of you. You're not of any good for anything.
Right. They always say, like even with love connections, right? If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be worth anything to anybody else.
Nobody's going to love you.
No.
Because they can see the energy.
Right.
Beautiful. Now, Sheri, what has been so far the worst piece of advice you received other than get a job?
Oh, yeah. Get a job. I always love that one. Work hard. Make money. It's all about that. No, it's not.
For me, settle down.
You have to have balance.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we need to pay our bills, but we need balance in our life.
Sure. Imagine that you were blessed with a time machine where you can go back in time and sit face to face with an 18-year-old Sheri. What's the number one piece of advice you would give to her knowing all that you know now?
How to live a healthier life, for sure.
Oh, yes.
And I think I would have taken a health path earlier in life. I've had readings and stuff and my Akashic records, and everybody is telling me I've been a healer in past lives multiple times.
I keep hearing that from people around me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think if I knew now when I was 18, I would have definitely taken a path. Back then, though, that probably would have looked like a nurse or, chiropractor or something like that instead of a holistic healer.
It's never too late if you want to become a nurse, not a nurse, but a chiropractor, because a nurse is one hell of a difficult job.
Yeah. Well, I'm a holistic healer, basically.
Exactly.
So that's
beautiful.
I'm going to stick with that. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's not just not thinking that you're doing. This is where your zone of genius is, you know.
That's right. That's right.
So, do you have your own podcast?
Say again.
Do you have your own podcast?
No, I do not.
What is the number one reason that you don't have your podcast yet?
Time right now, time and focus is
Okay.
elsewhere on growing my business.
Mhm.
Could that be something I want to do in the next couple years? Possibly. But
Awesome.
right now, my focus is other places for my business.
Okay. Imagine that today you had a very successful podcast, and today you're interviewing the most special person in the world, and that is yourself. What are the first questions you want to ask yourself? What's the first question that comes to your mind? Don't think too hard. First question that comes to mind.
What drives you? What inspires you?
What's your answer?
Changing people's lives.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Now, the last question that I ask my guests, and that's my favorite question to ask, and that is, what's the smallest thing you've done that has had the biggest, deepest, most profound positive impact on both your life and your business? For example, for me, it's been starting my podcast. What about you, Sheri?
Probably sharing my story.
Mm.
It gives people the opportunity to think, well, I have a lot of the things she has, but I don't tell anybody about it. Right.
Yes, I noticed that.
So, yeah, for some reason, we've been raised to be ashamed of our faults or our failures. And they're not really faults and failures. They are to an extent because we haven't been taking care of ourselves. Right. Or we knew that our family had all this. So my chances of getting it is something that's going to happen to me, and not taking proactive measures to avoid this. Mm-hmm. So to our own hearts, we feel like failures and because we didn't take care of ourselves. So we don't like talking about that. And, I'll be the first to admit I failed at taking care of myself. But I think you have to get to that realization of where you are really, so you can put your hand out and let someone hold it and pull you out. And be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Because if you're not going to make the changes you need.
That's key. That's huge. Yes. Absolutely. I agree. Because, you have to be honest with yourself first before
Absolutely.
you can be honest with others. Mm-hmm.
Because you have to really realize it and believe it and hold space for it. Right? Instead of suppressing it. You have to hold space for it. So it's a reality that's going to trigger the change. Totally. But if you keep suppressing it, you're never going to do anything about it.
Totally.
And that's where someone like myself can hold your hand and pull you out and help guide you and give you those changes, lifestyle changes that are not scary. They end up being very easy. They end up being fun. And you start seeing changes, and you are making sustainable habit changes. Changes that are going to be sustainable, that you're going to want to go forward. Just, keep going and trying new things. I mean, Jim has so much fun. My gentleman that lost 115 pounds, he has so much fun trying to find new recipes and trying different things. And, it's brought joy into his life,
Absolutely. It brought back his life.
Yeah.
Gave him a second lease on life. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, you need to let people know about what exactly you do, the impact, the difference. So I noticed when you went on the 7 Circle 2 weeks ago, and I messaged you on Messenger on Zoom. I don't know if you saw it. Said, Sheri, tell them that you went from 1 billion pills to none. You lost 1,000 pounds, because this is what people want to know, and not the generic. I'm a healer, because there's a billions of healers. but tell them the
Right.
actual concrete results. This is what's going to connect people, attract people to you. So
Right.
don't shy away from that. This is your, so to speak, your achievements in a way, you know?
Hmm.
So
That's my mission. So that's,
embrace
you
it,
know,
share it. Yes. Tell people that should be the first thing that would come out of my mouth if I was you when I meet
yeah.
someone, you know? Hey, this is my story. Take it or leave it, you know? You like it, awesome. You don't like it, no problem, you know?
Well, that's why, you know, by changing my life,
Mm,
that's my new vision is it's like my tagline, your vision of health is my mission to bring to reality.
love that.
Right.
Love that. Now, Sheri, if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
My website is yourwellnessredefined.com.
Mm-hmm.
And on there, I actually have a healthy cookbook and 30-day meal plan that's free. You can register for that. And I'm about to finish my anti-inflammatory guide and cookbook, my recipe book. So it's going to be information on what is inflammation, what causes it, how to release it, what diseases can form from keeping it in your body, foods to eat, not to eat. And then I'm going to have quite a few lovely recipes in there to help you get started. So, and that will also be free.
Beautiful. Love that.
And they can always reach out to me, Sheri at Your Wellness Redefined, Sheri being spelled Sheri.
All right. Send me all your links. I will put them in the show notes. Not
Okay.
but after. That's fine. That's fine. I'll put it after in the show note. So listen, Sheri, absolute pleasure. Blast talking to you. I love your mission. I love your vision. Keep shining your light. Keep you know, keep blessing the world with your presence, with your impact, with your work, with your contagious laughter and smile, with your energy, with your passion. Stay safe, stay awesome. God bless you, my friend. We're definitely gonna be talking soon. We're connected now. So as we say here, have a fantabulous day and a fantabulous weekend ahead of you, my friend. Take care.
You too. God bless.
Take care. Bye bye.